Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to the Everything and Nothing Show. I'm just one of your hostess with the mostest, Clayton Kisco, and I'm accompanied, of course, by the rest of the Maelstrom Gamers. On this podcast today, we have with us the bad boy himself, Cop Show's #1 fan, Steve Landis.
He's sleepy.
What's up, Steve?
So tired.
Why are you so tired?
And dapping.
It's a tired dap.
Tired dap.
That's like a
it's a little limp.
Too much division, dude.
something like that.
Okay, awesome. And next up, we have the A-Train, the Tea House, the Canadian sensation.
His
Hey,
Perfect
is
hair
off?
forever, Alan Tollner.
My camera's off?
No,
No, your
you're
cape.
right. No, you're still here.
I
Oh yeah, my cape is off.
Yeah. There you go. There we go. And last, but certainly not least, the man formerly known as the Enigma, a.k.a. Backdoor, Ian Kane.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Boom!
You know it's him because of the bow.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Guys,
That
real
was
quick, go Titans. They just traded the #1 pick in the NFL 2016 draft to the Rams to jump to number 15. We got their number 15, their 2 second-round picks, their third-round pick, their first-round pick next year, and their third-round pick next year. So I'm feeling pretty good. Titans moving in the right direction.
And they're still going to end up last in the league.
They will, but then we'll have 2 first-round picks next year, and then we're going to go to the playoffs. Also, fun tidbit, the last 3 teams in the Super Bowl era, actually all 3 teams who have had 6 picks in the first 76 picks went to the Super Bowl in the next 5 years. So,
Well, stats are made to be broken.
yeah.
Who are the
true.
Titans?
I'm sorry?
Who are the Titans?
You don't remember the Titans?
Anyway,
remember-
for those of you who guys don't know,
Ooh.
if you guys don't know the format of the show, it's very simple. I'll break it down for you very quickly.
Clash of Titans, Sam Worthington. Liam Neeson.
Liam Nielsen, taken.
Okay.
Us Maelstrom Gamers, we hop on a Skype each and every week. We each bring a topic for our discussion, but more importantly for your entertainment. There's 5 topics every week, and each topic has its own YouTube video on youtube.com/Maelstrom Gamer channels. And on Saturday, all the topics are rolled up into one episode where you can get all of that for free. And if you want to get that early and support us for as little as $1, you can go on to patreon.com/Maelstrom Gamers, and you can support us there. We also have fun little rewards for you, including getting things early, MP3s, videos, and special podcasts as well. If you don't have money, that's okay. There's free ways to support us too. You can go on our Facebook page. You can go to our @Maelstrom Gamers on our Twitter. Follow us there, like us there. You can comment, subscribe, and share the YouTube video down here. We're getting a lot of, actually, what's interesting is we're getting a lot of great comments, mostly flat earthers. That's cool. We'll talk to you guys. That's fine. But we also got a shout out, guys. I don't know if you saw this, but in college, we inherited a house off campus called the Super House. And it was called the Super House because it was a ginormous house off campus that threw amazing parties. Being the people that we are, we didn't want to just like take their name, so we made it the Maelstrom House. And that's where the Maelstrom moniker comes from. But the Super House guys also have a podcast, and they gave us a shout out and shared our stuff on Facebook with all their people. So I just want to give a special thanks to them.
Nice.
And with this episode, we're going to shout out to the Super House people as well.
Good
I started listening to their
Super
podcast.
House.
It's pretty funny. You guys should definitely check it out.
After you check out ours.
After you check out ours, of course. So that's the format. It's very simple. There's ways to support us. There's free ways to support us. Really, if it's $1, it's really it's that simple, and it can go a long way. So really appreciate it if you can spare that change, that extra change. We're just a bunch of bums asking for money. That's really all this is.
Yeah.
Making
Dollar.
conversation about
Except
it.
they're getting.
Clay hates bums, by the way.
Except
Yes.
they're getting more money than us. Though.
They are. They're getting a lot more money than us.
Yeah.
We're failing at this. All right, let's go to our first topic. Steve, I'm going to allow you to wake up a little bit, so I'm not going to go to you.
Thank you.
Ian, you look actually pretty awake. I'm gonna go for you, man.
Because it's
Okay.
not early in the
Enigma.
morning in
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been up for a
Florida
few
man.
hours. It's kind
Florida
of
man
nice.
has been awake.
It is for
But,
me though.
Well, we all know
okay.
that you're the bum posted on the
Sorry.
corner right now, so you're at your job, and we understand.
You know, for a man who's extremely tired, you did a really great job on your hair this morning.
I was gonna say,
Your
yeah,
hair is For
You
those
always
listening
got
to
to.
MP3,
I
which
feel like he's
is
got
nobody.
one of those like Rube Goldberg machines. Like he wakes up and knocks a ball over and it like starts combing his hair or something.
It just
Well, Clay, you would know nothing about that, man.
what? I
Ooh.
know what Rube Goldberg.
Yeah.
Oh, hair. Got it.
Yeah.
Talking shit about it.
He grooms his
Goldberg?
beard.
That's right. I groom beard
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah,
shave it.
I want one of those. That'd be really cool. I'll trade you.
No.
Well, so
love my
my
beard.
topic was, what is your guys' favorite animated series? There's a lot out there nowadays, so I didn't know if you guys had a favorite or possibly one that you used to like and maybe don't like anymore. I was telling Clay earlier, if you think about it, like back in the day, more adult animated series like Simpsons and there was South Park, but now there's like a handful and a bunch of them out there. So, what are your favorite animated series, or if you even like animated series?
Well, Ian, what is your favorite animated series? Why
I've
don't you
always
kick it off?
I've always liked South Park. That's a great one, just because they kind of stay current and they make fun of a lot of issues and be it political or social.
Yeah.
They
It
do a
always
good job of
cracks me.
offending everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. I like to offend everyone, But I started to get on. I don't know if you guys seen Brickleberry.
No.
It's
I have not.
extremely. It's
Is that the one with Tosh?
Yes.
Tosh.0, yeah.
Daniel Tosh, the comedian, he has Tosh.0, but he also made Brickleberry, and it's very like
That's
very
what is
disgusting.
Brickleberry? Is that the name of the character, the town?
It's the name of the
The
park.
forest.
They're all forest rangers, and it
Cool.
is. It's like very graphic and gross, but it's hilarious. Just some of the things that they do and talk about. But
Tosh.0 is very like in himself.
Oh, yeah.
He's very graphic, right?
yeah. So think about his
Humor.
comedy, but
Yeah.
like amplified because he could do it all in an animated series. Instead of just talking about it.
Wow.
he actually, yeah,
Yeah.
It's pretty funny though.
You can see it acted out.
His imagination, I can't.
Yeah, it runs wild.
It almost makes me sick. Like I'm sure there's a ton of poop and vomit and just like
There's a lot
sex.
of things in there. Yeah.
It's like the Aristocrats joke, just
Oh,
in
yeah.
animated form. I'm sure.
But I would think I'd have to really go to, something I've watched a million times over is Family Guy, of course. So
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't know. Like, do you guys, for an animated series to go very long and just diminish over time, do you think that hurts the legacy of the series? Because, like, for instance, Simpsons, from what I know, is like there's two camps. There's the original Simpsons camp, and then there's everything that happened after that, and people don't really like, maybe hate's too much of a strong word, but people really just don't even really appreciate or think the new Simpsons stuff is even that good. And does that tarnish its legacy, right? Or is it pretty easy to say, no, Simpsons is one of the best because it just had a great run for those 9 years, and then after that it really just fell apart, but I pretend like that doesn't exist. Because if that's the case, I gotta say that, like, Family Guy, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Maybe-
Family Guy had that happen to them for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah,
And maybe I grew out of it, or I just stopped whatever happened, but, like, I'm not that big of a fan of it anymore. It's okay, but it's not that funny anymore. It's kind of run its course for me.
okay.
South Park, I would argue, actually got better over time. It like evolved in a really interesting way. It went from very crude, crass, juvenile humor, which was great for its time, but then it evolved into this, like you said, Ian, very political. They just had an interesting way of making you think. Like they would flip a lot of political topics on its head, like when it was cool to be gay, and they criticized those who wouldn't be gay. Like they basically treated people
Yeah.
how gay people are treated today in this world, but flipped it and treated straight people like
Yeah.
that. And I thought that was really clever, and I thought they had a lot of witty ways of making a statement and making fun of the people that they're making the statement on. Like, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's why I think my vote has to go for South Park, because I've been watching it since it came out. I mean, I don't sit there like every week whenever it's in
Oh,
season
sure,
or whatever.
right,
but
of course.
and I'll never forget when I first started watching it. I was in 6th grade is when it came out,
Yeah.
and my buddy at school, I remember him telling me, he's like, "Dude, you got to stay up and watch this show." I was like, "Okay, I'll try."
Yeah.
And my bedtime was 10, but it came on at 10. So I convinced my parents to just let me stay up till 10:30 and watch TV. So
Oh, what are you watching, honey?
Yeah.
it was my dad, and he turned the
Oh, what are you
corner,
watching, honey?
Man, you sound just like him.
You got like 2 moms.
So, I had my little sister in the room watching the show with me, and she's 2 years younger than me. So she's in 4th grade, and my dad.
Why do you wait? Hold on. Why
Yeah.
is she there? Why do you have her there?
Because like we would sit there, like we had an older brother. We only had 2 rooms.
Okay.
And we had the. Have you guys ever heard of the day beds where the one bed comes out and pops up?
I heard
yeah.
of the night beds,
Yeah.
but not the day beds.
Yeah, and then eventually.
Alan got it.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good.
So,
So,
so serious when he said it.
my dad, he heard when he turned the corner, God damn it! And then he's like, "What are they watching?" So he goes in there, and I had the TV on jump, so I jumped it to something else, like some cartoon. And he walked in, and he was like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "Oh, just this." So he's like, "No, what are you watching?" I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I denied it.
He knew. I don't know what you're talking about.
So he grabbed the remote and he hit the jump button. He knew me, and he's like, "Yeah, you guys can't watch this anymore." So
Oh, the jump button,
Yeah.
dude. That's smart. You should have you should have like pressed the button and like 2 buttons or something just to get out of the jump.
I didn't know. I was just like,
He's
it
just
was
a
like
6th
quick.
grader, Clay.
Yeah.
That's true. You're right. They don't think
That was already advanced thinking for myself.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh,
So,
dude, so what's really funny, Ian, is I have a very similar story. I was in my room after my parents told me, like, they're like, look,
Don't
we heard
touch
about
yourself.
the South Park. You can't watch it, okay? And I'm like, and at the time I'm like, okay, sure. I mean, I think I fought it a little bit, but then after I didn't have a choice. But I had a TV in my bedroom, and I just remember I was like, fuck it, I'm watching this. And I was in like 6th grade too, or like 5th grade or something like that.
Yeah, 6th grade, I think.
And then my dad comes up in his like workout uniform. By the way, my dad works in waste management, is from New Jersey, so his hair's like slicked back. He's got a mustache. His attire is this like old. Like
Hey, we
he
need
looks
to
like
clean
Mac.
up.
He pretty much looks like Mac from Always Sunny. He comes in like
No.
with the sleeve cut off t-shirt, and it's like shorts and it's like high like ankle socks. And he comes in, he's like,
Is he doing karate?
probably, yeah. He's doing karate in the basement. He's working out. He comes up and like he's like, hey, and I was like, oh, and he caught me. He's like, we said you weren't allowed to like watch that stuff. So I got caught too, and I just didn't see him come around the corner, and he caught me watching it, which really sucks. But like, I mean, I still snuck it from time to time, and eventually I was just old enough that I could watch it.
Well, the best part is that a week later, I go out to say something to my dad because we had what we called the playroom, and it's like my dad's living room. You know, he had his big screen TV, his entertainment center. It was a second living room, and I walk out there, and when you first walk through the door, like his back is to you sitting in the chair, and he has South Park on. And he's watching it, laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I thought we couldn't watch this. He's like, no, you can't watch this.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Damn it, Dad. Yeah, I was gonna say South Park started like a whole group of friends with me in 6th grade. Like we had like a big friendship based around South Park because we had a pretty young science teacher. Like she was in her 20s, which like kind of right out of college doing our teaching, and she watched South Park, and she was like, "So does anybody here watch that show South Park?" And so a few of us were like, "Yeah, like we watch it late at night or whatever." So we have a thing called Coffee Club, where at lunchtime we would come up and drink coffee and like talk about South Park. And these people I've known since then, and we still hang out to this day and
No way.
talk about Coffee Club. Yeah. So like when we're all back in our hometown, we'll like meet up and just hang out and have a Coffee Club meeting.
Okay, in 6th grade, you were drinking coffee?
That was another part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was I guess I mean she
were
drank
doing
coffee,
bad
so we thought it was really cool to drink coffee too. So we were drinking
So
coffee.
sophisticated.
She's like a 20-year-old, 25-year-old, whatever, college, post-college science teacher that watched South Park. We thought it was the coolest thing ever.
What's
Yeah.
that?
She's like cute, I guess, in a like cute,
Science teacher way.
science teacher way.
So it was her. So the teacher is part of this club?
And what
Yeah,
was his
she's.
name?
Her name was Mrs. G, Miss G, and
Yeah.
she became Mrs. Mayberry.
Nice.
which is not as
So we
cool
had
of a
the
name.
teacher, we have you and a couple of friends all drinking
Yeah, I think
coffee.
there was maybe 6 or 7 people total.
Oh my god, just talking about South Park.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really funny.
And it's just hanging out, and we'd play like Mist on her computer or something.
cool.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah, it was pretty fun. And it was awesome because we didn't have to go to the lunchroom. We would meet up in her science class and just like hang out up there.
That was the best. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't have to be stuck there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you must have felt so like secret meeting.
Exclusive.
Yeah, exclusive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the word for it.
Drinking coffee.
Yes, indubitably,
Yes.
that South Park was top drawer.
Coffee club.
No, I got
Yes.
I got you guys all beat, man. I don't really I love all like animated series pretty much, but remember Ren and Stimpy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
man.
yes.
Yes.
Dude, have you watched it like now and like you've
No.
never
Yeah.
watched it now? Dude, it's like I was like, we watched this when we were kids?
Really?
Like this
Oh,
is worse than, like it's worse than like South Park.
It's
And,
gnarly,
like,
right?
oh,
Farts
it's
and
super
like,
gnarly.
really disgusting
I watched
close-ups.
Stimpy was giving birth at one point.
Yeah, to a
And
fart.
his birth, no, it was a piece of shit. Came out and like, oh, it looks just like you, dude. It was gross, and they were giving it kisses, and it had shit all over his face and everything. Dude, it was like, I was
God.
like, we watched this, and the doctor was a horse, and like he was hitting on the freaking like nurse. Like, I gotta send you guys.
Yeah,
the
but you
link
got to
to that
remember, this
episode.
was like the early 90s, late 80s, so our parents were hocked up on Coke, and they were just enjoying the shit out of this
Yeah.
show.
And remember Flying Toast Man? He
Yes.
flew backwards
Yeah.
with his ass
He did.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
farted too, like when he went off powdered toast. Yeah,
What's
yeah.
wrong with us?
dude,
It's log.
like,
It's log.
Fuck.
It's heavy. It's wood.
It's
Yeah.
logs, logs.
Better than bad. It's good.
Yeah.
dude, but like, yeah, that was probably my favorite series because I remember
I like
was-
that. Yeah, I like that.
I
a lot.
remember I used to always go to Blockbuster, and I'd always get the orange tape.
Hey, Steve, for the kids out there that are listening and watching and don't know what the fuck Blockbuster is, could you
Blockbuster?
explain
Oh,
to
yeah.
them what we
This
used
is-
to have to do in order
This
to
is how
watch
we
them?
rented movies before
And
streaming.
video games.
Yeah,
Yes.
before
Yeah.
everything was on YouTube and easily downloadable on Steam.
Yeah. and
We had to
everything.
go to
We
a
used-
store and say, hey, I'll pay you money if I could just play this for a week, and then I'll bring
And
it
bring
back
it back.
to
And
you.
if you don't, then we will find you and kill you.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
$100.
That's before Liam Nielsen. But
That was-
yeah.
Liam
Funny
Nielsen
story.
is
Taken
Blockbuster.
was a movie that they were trying to make forever. It was originally called Blockbuster, and it's about a
Yeah.
guy.
about a
Bring back my
blockbuster
video.
clerk.
I have a special set of skills for finding
Find you,
videotapes.
and I will kill you if you don't return.
Please rewind.
Yeah.
Man. And the funniest thing too is I had the old VCR. I never had the new VCR. I had like an old VCR. Like you borrowed from Jesus. Like it worked great though. It looked pretty cool. It looked pretty cool though. Like it had like the whole like
I've
nice
never
wood
heard
finish.
borrow from Jesus in a
It had a wood finish on it.
I don't think that's a saying. To be honest.
Hey, that's just the way the door closes, guys.
No,
Okay.
of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, make like
Next
Make like
time-
a tree
next
and
time
get
you're
the
in the
fuck
dark
outta here.
zone, just drop that, please. So like when people hear you, be like, I'm just gonna borrow this from Jesus really quick.
I said something like that in college. I was like, I couldn't remember what the saying was. I think it was "Rain on Your Parade," and I just told some friends, I was like, "Look, I didn't shit on your potatoes," and I just said it so confidently, and they were just like, "What, are you talking about?"
like you ever have that
I
happen?
remember
Like
that.
someone say like something to you and you're just like Eric Amber does it all the time. She'll say something and then I'll be like all of a sudden like 5 minutes later I'm like,
That's not even a saying.
did you just say? And she just starts cracking up laughing. Like I remember one time she said something like, "I hate your face." That's something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, some weird like not even a saying.
Throw your
or-
face into jelly.
Yeah, something like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
So,
Should I be mad?
so Ren and Stimpy is interesting because that's when we were much younger than 6th grade.
Oh yeah.
The other, but you know, my parents didn't worry about that. I guess farts and shit's okay, especially when it's on a character's mouth. But there was a show that they did have a problem with, which I would think is my favorite of all time, Batman animated series.
Ooh.
I was watching this since like '89. I couldn't even like really read at the time. Like I remember asking my babysitter to read me the title of the show. But I guess the main reason why my parents got, which this I hope you preach so much before you have kids and you judge so much of other parents that what I'm about to say I hope I never end up doing. But my parent, like the fact that my mom didn't realize what I was watching, you know what I mean, was like she needed to watch an episode of Oprah to be like, listen to Oprah and her say Batman animated series is a show that is not for kids. For her to be like, I don't think you should watch that. And so like that always like I was like, well, why didn't she just pay attention to stuff that I like? And then maybe we would anyway. So she didn't want me watching, and I like flipped out. And like I guess at the time, I don't know, I was like 3 or 4, and there's a lot of like dark stuff that goes on in that show. So I actually can see where they're coming from. But god damn it, that show was amazing. That show was so good. It's one of the best animated TV shows, I think, for a comic to this date. So that would be my choice, Ian.
Cool. You know what's
Was it
funny
Ben
is yes, Ben Affleck man.
Just like I would love someone to dub just a Christian Bale voice. The entire like sort of.
So
that would be terrible.
I have a pretty interesting one. Is when I was a kid, I think I had to be like 5 or 6 years old. I used to watch Beavis and Butthead with my older brother and sister.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and my sister worked at KFC at the time. I mean, my sister's 11 years older than me, so when I was 5, she was 16, had
Did
her
you guys
first
get
job.
free chicken wings and stuff?
Oh man, she used to come home with the biscuits and all kinds of stuff, and like,
dude.
yeah, and we would sit there, and yeah, there were. I'll never forget. They helped me. They helped me build a fort. Right around the TV, and all 3 of us, it was me, my brother, and sister, and we ate biscuits and chicken at like 12 o'clock at night watching Beavis and Butthead.
That sounds like amazing. That sounds
it was
amazing.
awesome.
I want to do that now.
Yeah, I want to build a fort.
now.
I want to eat chicken wings and just watch
That
cartoons.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Do you have
Adulting
Bojangles in Florida?
No,
Yeah.
well, yeah, we do, but they're not.
You have to
that
drive
common.
like far. You have to like
Yeah.
drive far.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And every time we pass by them on the interstate, my wife and I, we go Bojangles for some reason.
All right, I'm moving on to our next topic.
Jankers. You guys be talking about like, yeah, so like fucking Trump is like a fucking Jankers.
That's gonna be my new saying.
Like, yeah, my dog, he's gonna have to lose the leg. Bojangles.
That's how I need to introduce you now, Ian. I hope you know
Yeah,
that.
there
It's
you
the
go.
Bojangles.
Bojangles.
Okay, does anybody else want to talk? Like Dragon Ball Z, we've mentioned in the past that all of us really
Yeah,
love that.
so
Like,
that
that was the
was
first
really-
anime that ever like.
Negative.
It's a really shitty show though. To be honest with
Yeah.
you.
I Rocco was really into it. I never really did.
I
Get
love
into it.
DBZ. I've still watched.
How could you make it through a whole episode when it's literally
Yeah.
just a panning shot of a guy's face
Yeah.
while he monologues, and then it cuts the other guy's face and monologues, and then they like start going closer to each other, and then the next episode picks up, and it's more monologuing,
Yeah.
and then maybe by like the 5th episode they clash, and then there's like a big like
It's
fireball or something.
it's
Okay, I
really
agree
bad.
with you, but it's just like the build up. Like you want to fucking get there. Like don't get me wrong. I was pissed off when you didn't have like
Yeah.
Netflix and you just went on to the next episode.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah,
Man,
no,
I
it pissed
can't
me off
believe
because I
you
was like,
lived like that.
I've been waiting for him to go Super Saiyan for fucking 2 months, and it's just going and going and going. And it's like, and it's just like I was so mad. I just one point I didn't watch it like for 1 week.
Hey
And then I was
Steve,
like, fuck, I gotta
just-
watch it again.
just so you know, the loser of the trivia at the end has to go Super Saiyan, and we film it. So,
Oh god.
Steve does that for fun.
yeah.
right?
So I'm
Smash
hoping
it
you
in the
lose, buddy.
backyard.
I really want to
Oh,
see
we're
you go
having
Super
trivia?
Saiyan.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what one of Clayton's.
Okay.
So
Actually, I bet Rocco goes Super Saiyan. His fucking, greenhouse.
Dude, we
He's
can
just
make
like in the
that-
back by himself.
we
Like,
can You can make that a YouTube sensation, just like it's called Go Super Saiyan. You just walk into anything like a library and just go whoa, just something like that.
Okay.
That could be a fucking YouTube sensation.
we'll talk about DBZ another time. This is a really good topic, Ian. Super Bowl in the next 5 years. So,
well, stats are made to be broken.
yeah.
Who are the
true.
Titans?
I'm sorry.
Who are the Titans?
You don't remember the Titans?
Anyway,
remember-
for those of you who guys don't know,
Ooh.
if you guys don't know the format of the show, it's very simple. I'll break it down for you very quickly.
Clash of Titans, Sam Worthington. Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, Taken.
Okay.
Us Maelstrom Gamers, we hop on a Skype each and every week. We each bring a topic for our discussion, but more importantly, for your entertainment. There's 5 topics every week, and each topic has its own YouTube video on youtube.com/Maelstrom Gamer channels. And on Saturday, all the topics are rolled up into one episode where you can get all of that for free. And if you want to get that early and support us for as little as $1, you can go on to patreon.com/Maelstrom Gamers, and you can support
Oh yeah,
us.
my cape is off.
Yeah. There you go. There we go. And last, but certainly not least, the man formerly known as the Enigma, a.k.a. Backdoor, Ian Kane.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Boom!
You know it's him because of the bow.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Guys,
That
real
was
quick, go Titans. They just traded the number 1 pick in the NFL 2016 draft to the Rams to jump to number 15. We got their number 15, their 2 second-round picks, their third-round pick, their first-round pick next year, and their third-round pick next year. So I'm feeling pretty good. Titans moving in the right direction.
And they're still going to end up last in the league.
They will, but then we'll have 2 first-round picks next year, and then we're going to go to the playoffs. Also, fun tidbit, the last 3 teams in the Super Bowl era, actually all 3 teams who have had 6 picks in the first 76 picks went to the Super Bowl there. We also have fun little rewards for you, including getting things early, MP3s, videos, and special podcasts as well. If you don't have money, that's okay. There's free ways to support us too. You can go on our Facebook page. You can go to our @Maelstrom Gamers on our Twitter. Follow us there, like us there. You can comment, subscribe, and share the YouTube video down here. We're getting a lot of, actually, what's interesting is we're getting a lot of great comments, mostly flat earthers. That's cool. We'll talk to you guys. That's fine. But we also got a shout out, guys. I don't know if you saw this, but in college, we inherited a house off campus called the Super House, and it was called the Super House because it was a ginormous house off campus that threw amazing parties. Being the people that we are, we didn't want to just like take their name, so we made it the Maelstrom House, and that's where the Maelstrom moniker comes from. But the Super Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to the Everything and Nothing Show. I'm just one of your hostess with the mostest, Clayton Kisko, and I'm accompanied, of course, by the rest of the Maelstrom Gamers. On this podcast today, we have with us the bad boy himself, Cop Show's #1 fan, Steve Landis.
He's sleepy.
So
What's up,
tired, So tired.
Why are you so tired?
And Dappin.
That's a tired dap.
Tired Dap.
That's like a
Yeah. It's a little
Yeah,
limp.
too much division, dude.
yeah, something like that.
Okay, awesome. And next up, we have the A-Train, the Tea House, the Canadian sensation,
His
Hey,
cape
perfect
is
hair
off.
forever, Alan Tollner.
My camera's off?
No,
No, your
you're
cape.
right. No, you're still here. Super House guys also have a podcast, and they gave us a shout out and shared our stuff on Facebook with all their people. So I just want to give a special thanks to them.
Nice.
And with this episode, we're going to shout out to the Super House people as well.
Good
I started listening to their
Super
podcast.
House.
It's pretty funny. You guys should definitely check it out.
After you check out ours.
After you check out ours, of course. So that's the format. It's very simple. There's ways to support us. There's free ways to support us. Really, if it's $1, it's really it's that simple, and it can go a long way. So really appreciate it if you can spare that extra change. We're just a bunch of bums asking for money. That's really all this is.
Yeah.
Making
Dollar.
conversation.
Except
about
they're
it.
getting.
Spare
Clay
change.
hates bums, by the way.
Except
Yes.
they're getting more money than us. Though.
They are. They're getting a lot more money than us.
Yeah.
We're failing at this. All right, let's go to our first topic. Steve, I'm going to allow you to wake up a little bit, so I'm not going to go to you.
Thank you.
Ian, you look actually pretty awake.